Hey, what is up, everyone? I know it's been a bit since I posted a video, but I wanted to do an unboxing video. I don't really do very many of these, obviously. These are not super popular videos or anything like that, but I wanted to show what's inside this box because this is something that I have waited 3 years to get my hands on. That's when I funded, or I should say that's when I had made my pledge on Kickstarter to get this game. That's the deluxe version of what you see before you here, and that is Carnival Zombie 2nd Edition. For those of you that aren't familiar with Carnival Zombie, it is a co-op game where you have to basically survive days and nights running away from zombies and stuff like that and trying to leave Venice before it sinks, because if the Leviathan awakens, that's a wrap for Venice. So I never got a chance to play the first Carnival Zombie game, although I had a lot of interest in it, but unfortunately it was very hard to get a hold of, especially once it went out of print. I just kind of missed the boat on it. So when I heard that Carnival Zombie 2nd Edition was being crowdfunded on Kickstarter, I was like, I am absolutely getting this. And of course, I wanted to get the deluxe version, which is what you see here. So not going to be a review, but I do want to show what's inside this box for those of you that are waiting for your copies, or for people that are interested just to see what's inside. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. It doesn't show you on the back what's inside the box, but it does tell you what's inside the box, as well as the stretch goal unlocks that were part of the Kickstarter campaign right down here, as you can see. All right, so I'm going to speed up the video a little bit here. So this is just so you can see how everything is laid out inside the box, and I'll be going through what components specifically come in this box. But this is just, like I said, just to give you an idea of what you will see once you open this bad boy up. Now, I do believe anybody that had the first edition of Carnival Zombie, I think you'll notice that they reused a lot of the artwork or re-implemented it. No reason for it to go to waste. It was good artwork in the first edition, so why not? There is a couple things that are new to this one, though. I know that they completely redesigned the board, and some of these components that you're going to see have also been redesigned for this edition of the game, but there is some artwork that has been reused. Not a bad thing, because like I said, the first edition of the game had great artwork, but I'm sure as I go through these components, those of you that either played Carnival Zombie 1st Edition or own it, you'll notice it immediately. So as we go further, you'll see, I think, exactly what I mean, how everything has been re-implemented a little bit differently from the 1st edition of the game. So of course, we will start off with the board itself. As you can see, it is structured pretty much the same as it was in the 1st edition of the game, with a couple differences. There are some things I do believe that they added on to the board, but where you place the cards and things like that, I believe is the same as it was. Somebody can correct me in the comment section below, though, because like I said before, I haven't played the 1st edition of the game, but at least from pictures and things and videos that I've seen of it, it's pretty much structured similarly to the way the first board was, but I'm sure there are some things on here that are going to be completely different. Obviously, the way it looks, the artwork on it is slightly different, but more or less the structure of it remains the same as it was in the first game. So this is the main board, but on the flip side of this, which we'll take a look at here in a moment, there is another board. It's a double-sided board, and this was part of the campaign for Kickstarter for the deluxe edition. If you got that version, you will get this side of the board as well, as you can see. And this has its own rule book, because it's a completely different way that it's played, from my understanding. So it's structured pretty similarly to the main board of the game, as you can see, but it does have its differences as well, which I'm sure you'll notice as we go through here. Now, I'm not certain if this was something that was an expansion for the first game. I don't believe that it is, but I could be wrong about that. I think this is original for this version of the game, and it just is something that gives it a little bit more replayability. So that's the board. If you got the deluxe edition of the game, this is what's on the opposite side of that. Now, this is something else that was new to this edition of the game, and that's the miniatures. There's 26 unique miniatures that include the characters as well as the monsters for the game. This was one of the unlocked stretch goals. In the original game, I believe it was standees. Those are also included in this. So if you don't want to play with the miniatures, you could always just, punch out the standees and play with them. Here's a cloth bag again from when I opened up the box, and there are 199 of these wooden cubes, and 3 of these wooden tokens. So there's a total of 123 cards, and that includes the tarot cards that you're seeing here right now. Quality of the cards, pretty good, I would say. But hey, you can always sleeve them if you want to protect them. And I'm sure that a lot of the abilities that you'll see here on the cards and some of the items is stuff that they had in the first edition of the game. I'm sure you also recognize this guy right here. He was on the cover of the first edition of the game. Here's some of the item cards, as you can see. And as I had stated before, some of the re-implemented artwork from the first edition of the game. Here are the 9 character sheets that include artwork from the first edition of Carnival Zombie. And you have the 2 rule books, one for each side of the... Right here we have 3 reference sheets, 7 scenario sheets, and 8 finale sheets. Double-sided metal coin, as you can see here. And here's where we have the 44 tokens, 15 markers, 51 tiles, and standees. And I believe some of these were redone to fit the board better, of course, because since they had to redesign the board, so in order for it to match, they redid some of these here. Then you have 6 player aids that are included in this, and these are double-sided. And last but not least, the 25 plastic stands that you'll need for your standees if you decide that you want to play with them instead of the miniatures in this version of the game. And that is pretty much it. That's all that comes inside this deluxe version of the second edition of Carnival Zombie. So if you're able to get your hands on this for less than $100, that would be a great deal, I would say. So if you can do it, get a hold of it. Because I'm not sure how long this one's going to be around. I think they're going to have a retail version of this game that's just going to have the standees like the original one, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how long that'll be around before it's gone. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, but get a hold of it if you can. Let me know what you guys think of this video in the comment section below if you have any questions. And until next time, y'all know how it goes. The hunt continues.